I love your garage.
Welcome to our celebration of Memorial Day. We'd like to begin our ceremony. I'd like to welcome Pastor Brendan Goggins Tyson to the opening prayer.
Memorial Weekend, persons all over our nations to remember those who bring sacrifices into faith. Through Jesus we heard the words, no one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. And so we remember those who have served, those who have died, and especially those who have died while serving. Merciful God, we recognize those from this town and the thousands more who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our safety and our peace. We are grateful and humbled by their actions. Bless them, O Lord. Strengthen and comfort the family members as well, especially those who continue to grieve loved ones who made that sacrifice. Be with us here this day, Lord, as we gather your people for ceremonies of remembrance and respect here in this network. And in Jesus' name we pray this so much. Amen.
Please be quiet and show some respect.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, one of the traditions we have is we ask all those, the children in the sports events and scouting who have flags or flowers they'd like to place before the monuments to come forward now, if you would please, and we would place them up here. Come on forward.
Stick it in the ground. Right back. Get that. Here, I'll go. Come on. Come on. I'm coming with you. Come on. Come on, Mark. Mark, come on. Come on. Come on. Take your flag.
Isabella, pick up the flag. Put it on the ground again. You dropped it in the vein.
Thank you very much. Now, as anticipated, Greetings from our first select woman, Pam Sawyer.
Memorial Day has a long history stemming from the Civil War era, when those who lost loved ones decorated graves of soldiers with spring flowers. Today, on a traditionally weekend filled with sun and barbecues, I want you to know that you are among the elite group of Americans, taking time out of your busy lives to come to honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for their country in the name of freedom. We stand on this beautiful green to honor the men and women who have laid to rest in Bolton and across the land, and hoping it would happen no more. But it has. And here in our small town, there are many broken hearts, and in remembrance. Michael Clark spent almost 20 years in both civilian and military medical service. Then last July, while on military duty in Georgia, Master Sergeant Michael David Clark, age 41, lost his life after a lightning strike. We stand here in deep, deep sadness, remembering a great man, a patriot, a son, a husband, a father, and a friend to many. At this time, I would ask that you join me and bow your heads in a moment of silence to remember Michael Clark. Thank you. Behind me are two benches by the monuments. Soon, one will have a bronze plaque placed there with Michael's name as a permanent memorial, and there will be a dedication for that at a future date. Because Bolton has no veterans organization here, the town formed a Veterans Commission. It is served by 6 veterans as members and 1 dedicated veteran advocate to look at issues regarding those who have served and their families. One commission member, Paul Toomey, brought forward the idea to honor those who served and have lost their lives by naming a small stretch of road behind the monuments, now called Veterans Way. On behalf of the Board of Selectmen, I'd like to give a shout out to the Commission and its tireless chairman, Kathy Walsh, for organizing the parade and ceremony this year. Thank you also to Pastor, the band, singers, and speakers, as well as all who marched to add to this very special and solemn time. And to the fire department for placing the flags up high and for all you do all year. At this time, I'd like to say God bless to those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in the name of freedom, and God bless America.
I'd like to invite all our veterans and any of those who are currently serving to step forward as we salute our fallen comrades. So if you would please come on forward in front of our flags here. Yeah, guys. As in the past, honor our fallen comrades with the salute. So, on my command, gentlemen, present home! Order! Home! And if you do an about face, please remain at this point. Turn around, face the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give these gentlemen. At this time, I'd like to invite Nicole Nunzio to come forward, and she'll be presenting the Gettysburg.
The Gettysburg Address, delivered by President Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania on November 19, 1863. 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can not endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who can't save their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this place. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it, far above I pour power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what we did here. It is for us the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who taught here have thus far and so nobly begun. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which we leave the lasting measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of people, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Next, we'd like to invite Mara Anderson, who's again a middle school student and presenting in Flanders Field. Now, Bolton High School prize band would like to entertain you with their version of America the Beautiful, along with anything else they'd like to play.
Thank you for having me speak today. Thank you all for attending this year's Memorial Parade. My name is Morgan Bonamito, and I am a junior from Bolton High School. Many people in my family have served in the military through the years, including my great-grandfather in the Army Air Corps, and more recently, my father in the Air Force. And I hope to one day follow in their footsteps, joining the Air Force myself. My family has been fortunate enough to not have had to feel the heartache of losing a loved one to the tragedy of war, but I know there are many out there who have not been so lucky. That is why we have days dedicated like today to make those who cannot be with us still be remembered. Former President H.W. Bush once said, "Each of the patriots who we remember on this day was first a beloved son or daughter, a brother or sister, spouse, friend, and neighbor." They can be easily forgotten when we think of those who have served, but every soldier was once a civilian, someone whose only obligation was to respect the laws and live out their lives. But these brave men and women took the next step to protect and serve our country. Today is a day for remembrance, to look back upon the fond memories held for those who have fallen, those who were once just like us, living a normal life, to keep them alive within our hearts and in our minds, because a person is only gone when they have been forgotten. We should honor the heroes of all wars, not just on Memorial Day, but through our daily commitment to ensure that America remains a place worthy of such sacrifice. Today is a day about the countless men and women who have laid down their lives in order to protect our freedom and democracy, so that we can hold events like today without fear. We lay our flowers, wreaths, and flags at the graves of our soldiers, all as a reminder of what they have sacrificed for our country. A way of showing them that even though they can't be with us here today, they are always here with us in spirit. Many mothers, fathers, wives, husbands, and extended families and friends do what they can to make sure that their loved ones' memories always stay strong with them. Be it a simple story recalled or a picture on their mantle, there is always something to remind them and those around them of their hero. Memorial Day is about the fallen, no matter if they were rich or poor, colored or white, man or woman, from the cities, suburbs, or farmlands, no matter their political preferences. All that matters is that we remember them not by their visible characteristics, but that they took an oath to lay down their lives for America if they were so called to do so. As a reminder of the past heroes, many display a red poppy flower, the only flower to thrive on the lands once destroyed by war. They have become a symbol of not what is lost, but what is still strong. President Lincoln said in his Gettysburg Address, "It is for us the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus so far nobly advanced." It is our job as those still living to continue the work of those who have passed, and not let their hard work to freedom go unnoticed. Giving our gratitude and support not only to them, but to their families as well, for supporting them through their endeavors. They understood that their soldiers chose this life of sacrifice, willing to lay down their lives to protect the greater good, for the sake of their freedom. Today is not only to honor the fallen, but to honor their families as well. They carry burdens and pains that the rest of us could never understand, but they do it with such spirit and pride, because they know that they're not alone in this fight. Never alone, even without the ones standing here beside them that they loved, because they have a community with them every step of the way. We need to remember their courage, their sacrifice, and their utmost dedication to a cause greater than oneself. We shall never forget the amazing men and women who know all too well what the cost of freedom truly are. Those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Those who have given this country and all of its people the greatest gift of all, freedom and democracy. Today we remember the loss of their lives, but also celebrate what they have lived for. As Emily Potter put it, heroes never die. They live on forever in our hearts and in the minds of those who will follow in their footsteps. Today is a day that should be a reminder to all of us to always strive to be the best versions of ourselves, to go the extra step to help out at home or around the community, to strive to be the one that people look to when seeking help or advice for whatever they may need. We owe it to the fallen to ensure that their sacrifice was worth it, to honor their legacies. There is no limit to the amount of good you can do. Let that be the legacy we honor them with, not just today on Memorial Day, but every day. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of today's festivities.
Now I'd like to invite John Toomey up, our town historian. Remembrance of the Fall.
Good morning, neighbors. Good morning. I think we all need to give a round of applause. Welcome to the 62nd Bolton Memorial Day, honoring American service members who have given their last full measure of devotion. Many young Boltonian soldiers sacrificed all during the American Revolution and the American Civil War. Those long ago who perished will always be remembered. Today, here in beautiful historic Bolton, this ceremony will continue our 62-year tradition of honoring those who give that last full measure. This land known as freedom. I hope that you can find time to visit Bolton Center Cemetery or Quarryville Cemetery by Bolton Lake to honor those resting places of the fallen. Today we honor those great men who from time long ago, and also those who during the 20th century. Many of us here remember Andrew Hutchinson and George Bush getting from home from World War II. Or Arnold Tobias, who perished in Korea. And also William Burson and Stephen Gear, who were killed in Vietnam. They all marked on the monument with a star. I ask for a moment of silence in honor of those great souls.
What's your name? Right, my name's Melissa. I'm the fire department. Please do it.
May you all have a peaceful and respectful memorial.
Thank you, John. Now, we will have the playing of taps. For those who are unfamiliar, taps is played at the funeral, all military funeral. It is a farewell to arms. And today, you will hear the playing of taps and then applause and then the echo of the playing of the taps. So, gentlemen.
I'm going to hold your arms up like this. I need you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. I'm going to show your hands up. Put your arms up for me. Close your eyes. I'm going to let go.
Gentlemen that played this wonderful rendition, Michael Zakowski and Gianpaolo Garrison.
My partner's
Thank you again. like
So it's going to be a
Pastor.
little poke on your finger. Is that
Young,
okay?
yeah, Young Jing
They're going to check your blood sugar on that.
Tulsa. I'm
So
sorry.
your blood
Okay.
pressure's a little low. And I think that's why you feel so hot. So I think you can go to the hospital and get checked out.
Let us pray.
Probably not what you wanted to do today, huh?
Gracious God, on this Memorial Day weekend, as we end our ceremonies, we truly come together and remember and give thanks for those who have given their lives in the service of our country. When the need was greatest, they stepped forward and did their duty to defend the freedoms that we enjoy and to win the same for others. O God, you yourself has taught us that no love is greater than which gives itself for another. These honored dead gave the most precious gift they had, life itself, for loved ones and neighbors, for comrades and country, for all of us. Help us to honor their memory by caring for the family members they have left behind, by ensuring that their wounded comrades are properly cared for, by being watchful caretakers of the freedoms for which they gave, and by demanding that no other young men and women follow them to a soldier's grave unless the reason is worthy and that cause is just. Holy One, help us to remember that freedom is not free. There are times when its cost is indeed dear. Never let us forget that those who paid so terrible a price to ensure that freedom would be our legacy. Though their names may fade with the passing of generations, may we never forget what they have done. Help us to be worthy of that sacrifice, and help us to be worthy of their lives. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Before we end our ceremonies, I would just like to take a moment to thank Bolton Fire Department. If you can't help but miss these wonderful flags that are draping our roadway, and it's these gentlemen and ladies who put these up. So gentlemen, ladies, thank you very much. And on behalf of those who served our nation and made the ultimate sacrifice, their families, and all our veterans and active duty personnel, I thank you all for being here and participating in today's ceremony as our community pays respect to our nations and our hometown heroes, past and present. May God bless this nation. May God bless them. Thank you.
March